Live from the entertainment capital of the world, Doug Basham.
Hey guys, Doug Basham here. My website is DougBasham.com. My email, Doug@DougBasham.com. As I have stated before, and what longtime listeners and viewers of this show have long known, is what I consider to be the biggest problem this country faces, namely what I call today's conservative, corporate-controlled, right-wing propaganda, fascist hate media industrial complex. Yes, Donald Trump is dangerous, but by himself, he would just be a senile old man yelling at kids to get off his lawn. But when a democracy is stupid enough and short-sighted enough to allow the aforementioned media to not only exist, but to expand to where they are able to control the narrative to the extent the mainstream media starts repeating their narrative, deathly afraid of being called the liberal media, this is the result. We end up with a president who is a completely unqualified con man, grifter, and snake oil salesman, an insufferable malignant narcissist, a serial pathological liar, a 34-count convicted felon, an adjudicated rapist, an election denier who incited an attack on our Capitol and has been charged with conspiracy to defraud the American people by trying to steal an election he not only lost, but knew he lost, all to stay in power and out of prison. Someone who's been charged with espionage, someone who's facing RICO mob boss charges, someone who has said our Constitution should be terminated and that his enemies should be handled by the American military. All that has been normalized by the right-wing media. There is no way Trump could have been elected once, let alone twice, without the overwhelming and all-encompassing presence and reach of the right-wing media, the granddaddy of which is Fox Noise. And so, in the era and error of Trump, we have a shameless network designed to parrot the lies and propaganda the right-wing cult leader and master vomits in order to brainwash their audience into first normalizing him and his lies, second, believing those lies, and third, throwing their unconditional support behind someone as manifestly unfit as Donald Trump. I was very critical of Barack Obama way back in 2008 for just allowing Fox Noise into the White House press briefing room, and then of Biden for the past 4 years. No, that is legitimizing the illegitimate. And the First Amendment bit about the free press, that doesn't apply here. Fox Noise is not the press, period. And long before Obama, I was also asking the question, why is Fox Noise even allowed to be on the air? Seriously, Fox is not by any stretch of the imagination a news organization, and they were never meant to be. That's not why they were created. From its very inception, it was intended to be a propaganda machine for the right. Fox Noise was the right's revenge for Richard Nixon. After Nixon was forced out of office, the right vowed that never again would a dishonest, criminal Republican president be taken down by a legitimate and honest media. Roger Ailes met with Rupert Murdoch, and the seed was planted. And then in short order, the fox head of the beast rose from the very cesspool of shit from where the seed had been planted, and then flourished as right-wing donors realized what Democrats did not, and still don't. If you want to control the narrative and even the ability to rewrite truthful history, you need to invest in the media infrastructure necessary to do that. Democrats have never understood this. And so today, this behemoth right-wing media's tentacles reach and influence almost every square mile of this nation. The only nations in which networks like Fox Noise are allowed to exist are dictatorships run by authoritarian dictators / strongmen. And yet, we have one right here in America. And to treat Fox as if they're a legitimate news organization, that is normalizing the head of a monstrous entity that is most certainly not a friend of America. And if you can't yell fire in a crowded theater or bomb in an airport, why in the fresh hell should you be allowed to falsify news and create a legion of brainwashed, brainless zombies who are ready to start another civil war based on lies they've been told by the likes of Fox, on behalf of their right-wing strongman and dictator wannabe, who they don't see as such, again, thanks to their media. Fox's goal is to keep their audience in a perpetual state of enragement and hatred towards all things left and liberal, to the extent their viewers then support Dear Leader's call to lock up anybody he doesn't like without due process. Trump and Fox call them criminals, therefore they must be criminals. We don't need no stinking trials, just lock them up. Sound familiar? And yes, I am only too well aware of the veritable shitstorm that would have ensued if Biden and Obama had kicked Fox out of the White House. But look at what happened when they didn't. The right-wing propaganda fascist hate media spent 8 years spewing pure, unadulterated, racist-based hatred against Obama, to the extent that in 2016, the American people rejected an eminently qualified candidate in Hillary Clinton and elected a completely unqualified sexual degenerate instead. And when his homicidal response to COVID-19 drove him from office, that same right-wing propaganda fascist hate media spent 4 years rewriting the history of Trump's disastrous presidency, to the extent the American people sent him back to Washington this year. And now that Trump is set to return to the presidency, that conservative, corporate-controlled, right-wing propaganda, fascist hate media industrial complex will continue to grow, fester, and metastasize, eating away at the very fabric of this nation until who knows what will be left. And maybe then, Democrats will finally understand why I chastised both Biden and Obama for even allowing Fox News into the White House press briefing room in the first place. You do not ever legitimize the illegitimate, just like you don't ever normalize and legitimize Donald Trump. Although, in all honesty, even most of the mainstream media has done that, having learned apparently nothing from 2016. But similarly, you do not allow someone into the press briefing room who is anything but a member of the press. And the sad but undeniable truth is, nothing will change, nothing, until America realizes that allowing this toxic, noxious, and deadly fascist media industrial complex to exist in a democracy is a clear and present danger and existential threat to that democracy. Period, full stop, end of story. Please go to my website, again, DougBasham.com, and I would be grateful if you would click on all of my social media links and subscribe, follow, like, comment, all that good stuff. But if you can only do one, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And most importantly, please share and repost my commentaries. We're all in this together, folks, and anything we can do to help each other only helps our nation. And that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Take care.